Apparently, Ron DeSantis, as part of his presidential campaign, is exploring permanently banning all COVID restrictions in Florida. I'm not exactly sure what that would mean. You can't permanently ban something. The legislature can always overturn it. But nonetheless, for me, this highlights a major difference between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. There is no evidence to suggest that Donald Trump is, by any conventional measure, intelligent. He's never accomplished much intellectually. His academic credentials are mostly because he was rich and able to get into some good schools. His syntax and his vocabulary are that of a relatively young child. And there's a lot of evidence to suggest he can barely read. There's also no real evidence to suggest that Donald Trump is, again, by most conventional measures, mentally healthy. He has tantrums. He forgets things. He seems to have a hard time discriminating between reality and fantasy. And he is narcissistic in an extraordinary way. But this isn't true of Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis, by most measures, seems to be a pretty smart guy. Not that going to what school you went to matters a lot, but he did go to good schools, and he did do well academically. And he seems, when he speaks, to speak like someone who has a strong command of the English language. He understands legislative strategy. And he is, by most measures, pretty sane. But this makes it even more curious that he believes such things, that he explores such terrible policies. And this shows you both the degree of his ambition. This is a guy who will do anything to win the next election. We've seen that already. But also the degree to which he is part of the MAGA authoritarian movement. He may not be as vulgar or as unsophisticated as Trump, but he is just as committed to destroying American democracy. And to suggest that DeSantis emerging instead of Trump is somehow a defeat for MAGA and a victory for democracy in America is fantasy and absurd.